Hi everyone, my name is Nikki and I am on the Schwarzkopf Professional Artistic Team. Stay tuned for a color placement showcasing our IGORA ROYAL in this cherry chocolate formula. All right, so we're gonna get started with sectioning on our mannequin here. When deciding kind of what we wanted to do with this particular mannequin in the texture that we're dealing with, given that Cody did a rounded haircut, I still wanted to work on those rounded shapes. So on this top section here, we're actually gonna be working with a crescent or a half moon shape through the top. And more of that like color blocking, sort of color placement with a soft nod to the soft alt hair movement that we're seeing, which is, you know, a little bit of a burst of color. So I'm gonna start about a ½ inch away from the hairline, right up through this top section here, and I'm going to kind of scoop down to just right above, I'd say, the parietal ridge here on this side. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on the other side. I'm just gonna clean up my sectioning a little bit here. The end goal for this particular sectioning is when we have her done and styled, the hair is gonna kind of fall forward in front of her face. So she's gonna get this burst of color laying on top of this depth up in here, which is gonna give it a little bit of drama and shadowing around her face. Things to keep into consideration when you're deciding, you know, your color placement. If this guest had a smaller face, I would actually put the lighter color that I'm putting in this crescent shape closer to the face to allow the face to expand a little bit more. If the guest that comes in has rounder shape face and was looking to collapse that and make it not look so round, I would take the lightness away from the face, leaving more depth, because that will help collapse the shape a little bit more. I'm gonna approach this crescent shaped section in a traditional foiling respect. I chose two separate formulas within our IGORA ROYAL color family, which is our permanent hair color brand. Color 1 is going to be 5-68, which is a level 5 chocolate red. I also chose 6-88, which is a level 6 red, and then 5-99, which is a level 5 violet. And I mixed that with 20 volume. That's color 1. Color 2 is our Fashion Lights L-89, which is really used for highlighting techniques or painting techniques. And the reason why I chose the Fashion Lights is because, especially on a dark leveled base, it's gonna allow that color to pop and give me a little bit of brightness without me needing to use lightener. I'm gonna work in slices through this entire section. I'm gonna start with color 1 at the regrowth. Reason being is because I want it to have a little bit more of a shadowed effect. That way when it grows out, there is really no harsh line of demarcation. So I'm gonna start with color 1, and then I'm going to take color 2 on the mid-lengths and ends. And I'm gonna slightly melt the two together, making sure that the L-89 that I'm working through the mid-lengths and ends is really, really saturated. And I'm gonna just fold that up slightly without creasing too much of the foil, and move on to my next section. When it comes to traditional foiling, I have a tendency to really enjoy the From Our foils. From Our foils are already pre-folded, which is what I prefer as far as like my locking mechanism. What I like to do is lift the hair just past the 90-degree mark, allowing myself to put that foil in there and pull the hair down, which automatically ensures that I'm going to have tension on the hair. When folding these foils, I'm not folding the foil all the way up because I really don't want the transfer of the L-89 to touch my base color happening at the top. So what I'm doing is I'm folding it just underneath where the two colors melt together. Now what I'm going to do is just continue this process all the way through the entire crescent section. I'm moving on to my last foil, again, just applying color 1 at the regrowth and color 2 on the mid-lengths and ends. Now that all of our foils are in place and color 1 and color 2 are in our foils, we're gonna go ahead and do an all over color placement of color 1. Color 1 again was 5-68, 6-88, and 5-99 with 20 volume. I chose IGORA ROYAL for a very specific reason. Especially working with a darker texture, I wanted to make sure that we got enough exposure from the color and that it looked really rich and pretty when we were finished. I'm just finishing up my last bit of my all over color. And again, color 1 was put all over the head from roots all the way through the mid-lengths and ends. So just a quick recap, we decided to do a crescent shaped section through the top part of the head, which given the shape that Cody cut into this mannequin, that round layer, we wanted to mimic the round shape of doing a crescent section. We did color 1 at the regrowth, which was our 5-68, 6-88, and 5-99 with 20 volume. And then color 2 through the mid-lengths and ends, which was our Fashion Lights L-89 with 30 volume. We then went through the whole entire head and applied color 1 from roots to ends. With IGORA ROYAL, the processing time is roughly 30 to 45 minutes, but given this is a red formula, I'm gonna let it ride the full 45 minutes. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon with the finished look. Here's our finished look. We used our Fiber Clinic shampoo and conditioning hydrate range to shampoo and conditioner her. And then we used our Osis styling products and then diffused her to finish off her style. We hope you guys liked our video. Let us know in the comments.